Oh, my friends, you ever just get the feeling that everything's just kind of coming to a head? Like something has to give. We have the situation with in Israel, which is kind of like neither here nor there. Even though I happen to think that Hashem is pushing the Jewish people or people of Israel, the Israeli government, into history, into a historic kind of corner, if you will. But that has yet to materialize, and it looks like we're reluctant to materialize it. There's just like this holding pattern. Everything's a holding pattern, holding pattern, holding pattern. You can't have holding patterns forever. Or we have holding patterns and then something happens, right? And then again, holding pattern. Okay, and then something, and then again. It's just all like. My friend Frank calls it boring and tragic. I just call it too slow. Everything's too slow. Very, very, very slow. Even though it was happening very, 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 very fast at one point. And now we're just waiting to see. I mean, everybody is kind of waiting with bated breath. Because everybody knows what's at stake here. I mean, historically the most Jewish city in the history of the world outside of Israel. The place, people call it Jew York, New York University, NY Jew. At least that's what my friends used to call it back in the day. And people are wondering, we're wondering, like, what's going to be, There's a lot of people that think, oh, it's not going to be a problem. I just saw a clip of this guy, Mamdani, talking about how he took cues from his father. Speaking of dreams from my father, oh my God. Folks, like when Obama was running for president, for any office really, he wrote this book, Dreams from My Father, right? Some people read it, some people didn't read it. The point is, the media didn't really go into what was written in that book. What was written in that book was basically, what were the dreams from his father? The dreams were about, Kenyan socialism. Tribal African socialism, specifically. And we got what we got for 8 years. America got what it got, right? So now you look at dreams from Mamdani's father. You're talking about glorifying, what is it called? Suicide bombers, guys, glorifying all kinds of crap, basically. Basically hating America, hating Israel, all the good stuff, These are the dreams from Mamdani's father. And his mother also, director of movies. I mean, like, where they basically show white people as like lesser than, right? Almost as if on purpose. Everything with these people is like, it's like revenge. You know what I mean? I was just listening to a clip of Ion Here CLE, and she was, some college student asked her about, what about all the stuff that was done to the, the natives here and the slaves there and this and that. And she said, she said to the kid, you're absolutely right, but here's the problem. The problem is, America had its reckoning. The Western world had its reckoning with all these things. They fought wars about them. They put them basically to rest, at least politically. And so you want to dredge up the stuff. Like it's almost like there's no redemption for America, right? So we have to like take revenge on it, you know, by destroying it, by accusing it, by accosting it, by whatever, right? It's inherently bad because there was nothing good in its founding. There was nothing good in its underpinnings, right? Folks, I mean, like, you know, these people just want to see the world burn. They don't want to build anything. This guy's father didn't build anything. His mother literally did not build anything. He himself didn't build jack shit. Pardon my language, folks. So now, you have a guy who's like out in the open, and there are Jews, or people with Jewish names, or people with Jewish, I don't know, fathers maybe. People who are what's called, you know, the Shoah Jews, or what I like to call, you know, the 1/8ers, 1/4, 1/8ers, whatever you call them. People with some like Jewish grandparent. The wrong one, maybe. When I said the wrong one, you know, doesn't make them. People basically who are not halakhically Jewish at all, in the least bit, don't want to be, don't care, quote unquote, identify as that, right? So they're like, oh, this guy's great. No, it's going to be good for Jews. And then you have certain Orthodox Jews, a couple of them. No, it's going to be fine. It's going to be okay. No. My friends, like, at the end of the day, you know, I have friends messaging me, telling me, listen, Zvi, and I agree with them. I only agree with them because I've already been feeling this for the last however many years. That basically whatever Shekhinah is left here in New York is leaving. And, yeah. My friends, I mean, I have friends that went to Florida that told me, you know, they just bought time. That's all they did. They just bought time when they went to Florida, places like Florida, right? It's just delaying the inevitable, meaning you're not going to be able to solve this issue by moving to Florida. It's going to follow you to Florida, right? Just like it could follow you to outside of New York, even if you live in the tri-state area. Okay, so what? You're not in New York, big deal. But it becomes contagion. Once it hits New York, that's it, it's over, guys. It is over. Which is why, I mean, and I always say, even if you elect someone who's not named Mamdani this time around, okay, so what? Just the fact that this was even a conversation, that the fact that we even went through this completely, I don't know, nerve-wracking process, just the fact that this is even a possibility is it shows us a lot. It shows us how many people in New York, people who currently live in New York, you know, Qatar was able to brainwash in the universities, and also in the K through 12 program. That's what it shows us, guys. It's not just like, oh, we defeated Mamdani and that's it. No. This is only getting worse, my friends. Unless Trump comes and decides that he wants to give a middle finger to Qatar and defund or take away all their funding from all the schools. Which I don't know if he's going to do that. Folks, they need Qatar, they need the Saudis for their Abraham Accords. Abraham, I like saying it. You know, they need it for all their deals. They like making deals, so it's only going to continue, this stuff, right? All this indoctrination. It's only going to continue, guys. So here we are. What else can you say? it's a very it's a very spiritual moment. It's a moment that has, guys, every time I make a video, I've been trying to convey something, and there's something I can't put into words because it's difficult to put into words energy. When you feel energy, and maybe other people don't, maybe other people do, when you feel that something is coming, you don't know how you feel it, you just feel it. And so you basically have a spiritual process manifesting itself in the, on the political stage, or maybe physiologically, or maybe psychologically, whatever it is, right? Biologically, medically, whether for individuals or collective. But here in this case, my friends, you have it's a spiritual process coming out in politics, in the political scene, right? And what's the process? The process is to mobilize the Jews. Hashem wants to mobilize the Jews by hook or by crook. He wants to wake them up, even if he's not going to wake them up to, leave where they are. That's a deer right there. Is that a deer or a wolf? That might be a wolf, so I'm going to turn around. I hope that's a wolf. Or it's a dog. Even if it's a dog, it's walking by itself. I'm going to take a walk. Anyway, guys. What is it called? So, or it might be a bear. Or a boar. Speaking of spiritual. So, even if you don't mobilize the Jews physically, you have to wake them up spiritually, right? That's what Hashem wants. He wants to wake Jews up spiritually. If he hasn't already, right? And I can see a lot of Jews are waking up, guys. A lot of Jews are waking up. A lot of Jews are posting stuff on social media or on some of my pages, some of my posts, like, I was always I'm just quoting people, like I was always a Democrat and blah, blah, blah. But, this is not about left or right. This is about, survival of the Jewish people and, and then they go on to say something like, Rabbi Kahana was right. I didn't listen to him. I thought he was crazy. I didn't listen. I should have listened. None of us listened. All this kind of stuff. Or, yes, we have to stop the Islamic Caliphate. Folks, people are waking up. Question is it enough people? Question is, who are the people that are waking up? Zat Hashem, we'll see. Anyway, guys, I don't even know what the official topic of this video was, but I'm pretty sure, I hope, it's possible I may have encapsulated, I guess, what people are feeling. Maybe not, maybe yes, I don't know. At least this is what I'm feeling. Alright, guys. Be safe out there, and don't let the, what's that thing? Don't let the I-3 Atlas and the geomagnetic storms and the solar, not eclipse, it's a solar storms, sorry, it's geomagnetic storms and solar flares, there we go. Don't let them screw up your circadian rhythms, because these things are definitely screwing up with mine. It's waking up all kinds of hours. Alright, guys. Halatov.